and welcome to Love Talks. Um, I don't know, it still feels funny to say Love Talks. Well, I had this one thought, it was like, I don't kind of consider myself a company. Well, I'm not. I'm a human being and I already have a name. But I call it that for a reason, right? So it's sometimes it's fun to call it that and say, hey, welcome to Love Talks. So ta-da, there was another thing. Oh, today is, I think, the 9th of May. 2020 vision, yay. Oh, that's funny, because I was like, should I say the name? Because once I thought maybe I should say the name. And by the way, these are like flies here, but if you see some black spots like rushing through the screen. But, it's beginning to get kind of cool. Yeah, funny because, or like a good coincidence, because yeah, it is 2020, but I never said the name, but today I just thought to do so, and now I'm realizing that actually, yeah, this is about days. I kept writing, for some reason, kept writing 2929, and it kind of kept happening. I was like, why am I writing this? And I know, like, my old phone used to be a different size, so like tend to sometimes hit the wrong buttons at the keyboard, but like this one kept, why is it always happening in 2020? Because it kept happening. And I already said something on Facebook, because I guess at the time I figured, okay, better keep up with it, and so I wrote this one statement so that it wouldn't become another thing I wanted to tell you back in like 2020, just kidding, like back at the beginning of 2020 or something. But I wrote, age is just a number, but, and so it's like these kind of year names we give them, it's like, but at 29, and it kept being always 29 until last time when I already noticed that. So it's like, it might have been an actual typo, that one, because it was like, why always 29? It kept happening. It became suspicious, like, because it was like always 29, and it's like, why is God trying to tell me something? Yeah, I'd already written this on Facebook, but I guess I thought maybe he wanted me to or would have wanted me to talk to you more about it, because I only said something on Facebook about it. It was like a quick quote. So 2929, it's like you write it and it's still just a number, because it's like, so I guess I'm gonna tell her all my thoughts about it, because I don't know if this morning reminded me to remember. I was gonna say realize, remember, because sometimes like we don't remember what was before we were born, but it's like when sometimes knowledge just back, it's like, and it's never, like, it was never gone. It's almost like remembering, but anyways, I don't know, I just said that word. Well, 2020, it's like, it's just a number. We don't really know. Well, I was thinking, well, we don't really know what it would feel like to not have a name to a year. I know it's a number. It's like we gave years names, but it's like a number, like a number name. I didn't know what to call it. Name number, like a number name. And we put all these numbers and we counted them, and really, we made that up, right? The same way we made up time or constructed time, like the way to measure time. I don't know math. I don't know math. Because how could math and everything fit so perfectly? I don't even want to think about it. If God had also invented math, but in a way where we use it to construct these things, and it's kind of, we just made it up. If that makes sense. We discover things, but this kind of time is just made up. And I know, right? Keep singing your song. So I don't know why I feel like I'm put on the spot, even though I'm the one switching on the camera, but because I already thought it earlier, but it was just things that at the time that we just made it up, and I was like, it might as well not be there, or it might as well be a different number, because it's like, would our evolvement stop if we didn't have a number to the year, or does it even matter? And I remembered this one person, the person I learned from, or one of them, say to us that life goes in cycles, and I think at the time I didn't really understand. And on the one hand, I thought I did, because I was like, yeah, of course, like a year is a cycle, but also it seemed like there's more to the cycle thing. Cycle, no, that I didn't really understand. And I think I understand it a little bit better, but also maybe not. I'm not sure how much I don't know yet. But a year is a very obvious cycle. Oh, I read something in Origins of Truth. I can't remember what it was. That somehow the human like needs cycle, or that we have cycles for our experience to like release to something, and then release, like, I don't remember the rest of it. Maybe I got to look that. Ooh, I almost took the book with me, but I didn't, because it's heavy. Because I already have my notebook. Oh, maybe that's why. Maybe that was the purpose of even wanting to take it, but. Maybe if I find that passage description, I don't know, but. What else was I thinking? I thought about, I thought that evolvement always takes place, is in our evolvement is like eternity is not based on a number. And I also thought that somehow it's the fact that we, like, when we give years a number, it almost becomes us thinking back to, I think there's two different ways of counting it, which I heard this one person explain it on YouTube, but I never really understood them. Like, lol, they made it sound really complicated. But it's like, apparently it depends on how you count. Do you count year 0? Do you count year 1? But whichever one it was, kind of made it like, it makes it like almost seem to us as though, I'm gonna say year 1 was the beginning, or the point 0. I want to say point 0 was the beginning, and then year 1 was like the first year. And that's like, of what? It's like, of evolvement, of what? Of eternity? Of our existence? Of eternity? How could it be, a point of beginning of eternity? So it's like almost leads us to overlooking. Does it lead us to overlooking, what happened before that? Yeah, I know, it's a really significant year. Oh my gosh. How could I, it was a really beautiful year, but then, well, in that sense, maybe it was the beginning of something beautiful. But beautiful friendship, yeah, beautiful. But like, I don't know if there's something more that I'm missing right now, but oh dear, would you want me to say something about that? Because I don't know. But definitely, like, it looked different on paper, or it wasn't in paper. I typed it into a various different description, and my phone, anyways. And it looks different on paper, but, and by the way, I think like 2020 is like it's kind of like a really nice rounded year. It's like it's really nice to me. When I was saved only like a month and I think 2 days, something before, but so it's like my first year doing this, but also like it's also like really everybody was like 2020 vision and this and that, and everybody's talking about it, and I was like, what is that? And it's like so cool. And now I'm wondering, have we, did we get 2020 vision? What's our vision? Has it changed? It has changed a lot. It really has changed a lot. Nobody would have probably been able to think that there would be a virus coming and changing everything completely. But we also learned to love each other more. Our relationships we have a way greater regard for them, and there's more togetherness in the air. Everything's like changed, but unfortunately found out for some countries that it poses greater challenges, but in 2020 it's like, it used to be one of my favorite numbers as a kid, and it's like so rounded. It's like 2020. It's not like something, I don't know, almost like something not coming to a close, but like I don't know how to explain it, but it's almost like 2020 seems very balanced. And you could divide it by 2. You take the zeros out, it's like 11. It's like 11 plus 11, and if 11 is the number of togetherness, it's like double together almost, which really it has become doubled up. And but I don't know, I'm making this up. Maybe some of the things I'm like overinterpreting, but these are things that are related to age is just a number, and like the age of our, I guess, world as we know it is to us just a number, but evolvement has always been here, spirit has always been here. And would the cycle stop even if we counted years differently? I know they're like a cycle is a year, but also the way we count it and how many days exactly it has. And then there's the Islamic year is different, slightly different, and this and that. And Chinese New Year is at a different time, and this and that. How we count it is what we made up. Oh no, man. The significant time there, like year 1, I guess, or 0.0, I want to say. So it's like significant that like the reason why we began to count, or why we gave it these names, so to speak. But the number is not the significant thing. And even when I write 2020, it's like 29. Yeah, I don't know, like what will life look like then, but there's more to say. But why do we always need to count everything? Because the evolvement took place, whether or not the year had a name, had a number to it. But there's cycles on this earth. You can see cycles in everything. You can see cycles. I don't know, is there something else that they would have wanted me to say that I didn't understand yet? But then I'll bring it to you in another video. Inshallah. Such a beautiful event. Like, and I'm thinking back in my mind, oh my god, it's like in my mind it's not so, it's like it's close, it's like so far away, it's like that happened but it's so close, it's like I could go there in my mind even though it's 2,000 years ago, even though I will never, I can, and that way that first I think I can, but it's like so cool he came here. I think of it as point, no, not that, but point zero as terms of, because this one person is saying, you know, you don't really count backwards and forwards without a zero in between, but there, how could there be a year zero? It'd be like a non-existent, I don't know, year. I don't know, but I always think of it as point zero, like a point zero, and then begin to count it backwards and forwards. It'd still be significant if we didn't have numbers on years. And in a way, because, okay, well, I don't know how to explain it to you with a like, I could go, because at first I think, you know, but it's like, it's so easy, like, I could get back in my mind, like, oh my god, how cool, he came here to do this, to do this, to bring his love. And like, yeah, I could go there in my mind so easy, like we'd say in German, ein Katzensprung, which is like a cat's jump, which is what we say when something is close. And which is, but even if it's like, I don't know, like 10 minutes on the tube or something, it's like, oh, it's just a cat's jump, because like, even though 2,000 years, but in my mind is like, just went there, so literally, it's like nice, it's like, you can call it whatever you want it. Because in one way we think, you know, with the historical years, how could we ever know? How could we know what it was like, etc. But and also, what else? It's kind of like, it doesn't matter, because in my mind I could go there. Like, it was really a short, like, ein Katzensprung in my mind. It wasn't really so far, be it far away, like far ahead, not far ahead, long ago, or be it far fetched. It was like, literally my mind just went there. So it's like, sometimes I wonder it takes away from our like real, like, natural connection to the cycles. So it was one of the things I guess I wanted to kind of establish that habit of getting up with sunrise and going to bed at sunset. While in lockdown, at least, I figured that, oh, well, I wanted to do it all the time, and I had that thought even like years ago, but now funny to call it years ago, but it was like, I always, well, I thought, you know, when lockdown started, and then after I kind of began, okay, what am I gonna do now? Okay, I'm gonna focus on the positives that I can see. And then one of the things that came up was, oh, I want to go to bed when the sun goes down. I don't want to get up at sunrise. So that's the most natural thing people would have done when they had time, when I didn't tell themselves, I have to go here and I have to do that. And there were always things people had to do, or like, well, there were always things, people always had something to do. I mean, there were always things to do, but it wasn't like, seems like they had time. Seems like at times they had a simpler life. This be another theme, but well, I guess I haven't really like established that habit as much as I wanted to, but it was a cool idea, and I thought it would have been so cool. It would have felt more natural. Like I wonder if almost like if we didn't take away from these natural cycles, that would be a relief on us. Would be like life would be more natural. I mean, there's a reason for them from nature. So why are we trying hard to like almost force a cycle that makes sense? How many days in a year when we already naturally would notice when the year has changed, because we would have seasons. We would look at those. We would look at the moon, the sun, which who knows how that could be, but I know it really helps us to have these numbers to say this happened year so and so and things, and kind of we have all this history you get to learn at school and so on, even beyond and beyond, which we get to differentiate between like what happened when, but I don't know if there's something that there's anything I didn't capture. Hopefully I will. Because I don't know why it's significant to say it. I just know that this is what they wanted me to speak about it. I don't know why. Because I thought I know that. I'm thinking God gave us this earth. He created the cycle for our like betterment, I guess. And then why don't we like go with that? Why don't we trust it? Why don't we go with those cycles? Why do we like create? It's not like we created new cycles, but it's like we wanted to be exactly how many days in 1 year and things like that. I know these things like Ramadan and things, for example, and they like look at like, I think for all I know, it like depends on like the moon. So I look at what the moon is doing, and then they decide, okay, this is when Ramadan is starting. I don't know. But anyway, the theme is out here for you all to find this video. This video's 20. Oh my gosh! I was about to say it when I was about to say it. It was at what seconds and at what time it was. It was at 22:44. Oh my god, that's kind of cool. I don't know why I like round numbers, but I always liked round numbers more than the other ones. It's like 22:44. Why do I want to say it's like a closed or closure? But it's kind of like it's even. It's like I don't know, and it's multiples of 11. I don't know if this is something that he's trying to tell me or not, but apparently this lady called Nadia Khalil, she said that God has a sense of humor, and that he like when he like lets us see this number 11 everywhere, or even like oftentimes it happen we like in sync, we keep saying that number, but there was this one person who asked that, and I think she saw the number 11 all the time, and it was like, and she said that it's a sense of humor, and it's this like way of letting us know that there's, I think if I remember correctly, that there's something bigger out there or something, all kind of like, it's sort of these coincidences where we can't really ignore them anymore, isn't it? It's almost like letting us know that he exists. I don't know, but I don't want to speak for him. But you know what, that's funny, because it's like I was talking about 11 and it's like 22 and now it's 44, so 11, 22, 44, it's like how much more togetherness could there be, if that makes sense? I don't know if it's me, but who's thinking this? Am I overinterpreting? But I like, it could have just been, it was like 22:44. It sort of is, because letting us know, because I think if I'd noticed 22:45, I would have just said 20. It would have just said 22:45, and it wouldn't have seemed like something. But this does. 22:44, and also because the 44 is the double of a 22, and the double of 22 is like 11. The double of 11 is 22. I know it's 2020, but the year. But it's like, I don't know if that was just in my mind, but I liked it because I liked how it felt. And it's funny because I said at the beginning of this year, I wrote about togetherness and 11. To me, it looked like an 11, except if you took the zeros out. Because zeros are always making things more and bigger. So it's like, it was almost like, how much more togetherness could there be? Like, it's making me look into the future like, what if, we think we already, it's like a beginning of a dream you always had that we wanted us to be one world, and now we have more regard for each other's selves, the elderly, less of discarded and more included, and all these things, our relationships, what I just said, and that. It could be even bigger. Or, I don't know, but talking about numbers, that is a notable number right there, 22:44, because I didn't speak it out fast enough. But when I was gonna say it's 22, and by that time it was already 22:45, but when I began to want to say it, it was like, when I was like, and then, because I took the second, I guess, to notice, oh my god, it's 22:44. But I was about to say it's 22:44. Right, well, it is, no, 26:52, but it's like, yeah, under half an hour, whoop. And I guess I figured I would like make one of these a day, and then maybe like have the weekends off. But like, there's always so much to say. I just wanna, at least not now. I just want to keep up because I want to get it sad before it becomes something of, oh, once upon a time I wanted to tell you this. I'm just looking like, how long does it take them to grow? There's like a cycle. There's like a seed in the earth, and throughout the cycles they come out. They listen. They look. I would say they look to the sun, or like they listen to the cycles. You know what I mean? They listen to the seasons, the change of the seasons, etc. All these cool things. Well, at the very least, I spoke on the subject. And I will now leave. I think there was one more thing I wanted to tell you, but what was it? I think I will do that in another video. It's also getting kind of cool. I might make my way back home. Thank you very much for your attention and for watching. Also, I feel like it's hopefully in your benefit to watch this. So, but yeah. And at least, if you want, you can let me know if you like this video by leaving me a like. And also, the comment section is there for the using. I would love to hear people's thoughts. And yeah, what do you think about cycles? Have you got anything to add? Is there something, or did you like this video? Did it inspire you? Did you think something regarding these numbers? What do you think life would feel like if we did not think in terms of, the numbers of today is the 9th of May 2020, and does it matter if it is 2020? Or is our evolvement towards God and the love, still there? I mean, it is, but does our evolvement towards Him matter? Isn't it? What if we looked at that? Shouldn't we be looking at that more? And what would it feel like if that's what we looked at? What if we said, oh, this was the year I talked to people about 2020? Which I couldn't, because then that wouldn't have the name 2020, but you know what I mean. This was the year I talked to people on YouTube. what do you think? How do you think life would feel if that was how it was? And oh, hi, tiny beetle, tiny beetle. Oh, you can see him. Here he is. There's a little guy. Will he be able to walk here because so many little wool things in the way? Okay. I think I'll wrap this up. But yeah, again, thanks for watching. And ooh, another fly. Little fly. Hi there. So they all have their cycle and they all have like their. Ooh, she's gone. That feels like me trying to capture things like begin to speak. Bye. They're all like part of this bigger cycle, and they all like their own little cycles. The fly from an egg, you know, etc., to a grown fly, etc. There are all these little cycles, but it's like one cycle. To, oh my gosh, you know, the moon, the stars, the earth, and planets rotating around suns, and it's so cool. When you just look at that, it's so fun. Imagine us like, there's like other planets, we are never alone. But anyway, that sounds funny and creepy. I didn't mean it that way. Well, okay, starting to babble, so I think I will wrap this up. But I'd love for you to just subscribe to my channel if you would like, because then you can get notifications if you want. You can switch your notifications on, and then you can get notifications every time I upload a new video if you want. Or you can just be subscribed and subscribe. Like I keep checking back, but either way, you're very welcome to be here. I'm so glad you're here, and I'll see you in the next one.